Hi guys! Okay, so this is gonna be my second video in my Just June theme for the month. And the topic for this video is actually going to be religion, faith, and spirituality. I know this can be kind of a touchy subject or like a controversial topic to talk about, but I'm not trying to persuade anyone to, follow my beliefs or anything like that. I'm just trying to share my story because for me personally, finding Christ in my life really changed who I was, and I think it changed the direction in my life, that what my life was going at the time. So basically, I was raised Catholic, and I went to Catholic private school from second grade on, all throughout high school. And I remember even when I was younger, my parents would take me to church with them, and even in grade school, we had a mass every single week. And I kind of went through the motions, never really listening to what was being said in church, never really listening to, Father speak about the gospel or his homilies. And I think it was sometime, I remember in high school, I think it was my senior year of high school. I remember, I guess in religion class, we were talking about faith and everything else, and I remember raising my hand and being like, so what happens if I don't want to believe? If I just don't believe in God, what happens? God's not going to love me anymore? And the teacher's basically you're always going to be a child of God in his eyes, but if you turn away from God, if you knowingly just outright denounce God in your life, then you're not gonna, basically, your soul and your spirit isn't gonna be with God and the people that you love when you pass away. And I was just I don't know, for whatever reason at that point, I was just kind of oh wow, we'll see what happens. And I remember from that point on, for the next few years, I never really gave religion much thought. Oh my goodness, did y'all see that? My light just flickered. I think it's about to storm. Anyway, I never really gave God or religion or anything much thought, and then I started acting out. I started having a lot of fights with my parents, doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing, being with people I knew weren't good people, and I put myself in a lot of dangerous, bad situations, and I think there was some point in my life where I was I need to turn it around or I'm going down a really bad path. So I tried to give up all the bad things that I was doing and tried to focus on the positive, focus on work and school and my family and the things that really mattered. And I think within doing that, I sort of realized, I took a step back and I realized just exactly all of the negative, harmful things that I was doing to myself. Basically, I never been addicted to drugs or anything like that. I smoked for a little while. I mentioned that in one of my videos, I think. But I was basically just putting too much emphasis on boys and not using my body in a good way, essentially. And throughout that, with looking back at those experiences, I realized there were a lot of scary moments in my life. A lot of times I woke up and I didn't 100% know where I was, or I woke up and I didn't I was did I dream that I did this last night? Did I really do this? I would skip school to spend time with boys, just bad stuff. And I realized, the world is a dangerous, scary place, and there are a lot of times when you hear on the news, girl abducted or, girl taken advantage of and found dead in a ditch somewhere. And I know that sounds really horrible and extreme, but I was just that could have been me. I could have been on the news. I could have, if something would have gone wrong in any of the situations I put myself in, I could have been in really big danger. And I realized, I was wanting to change myself and be a good person for myself because I just didn't like where my life was going. That part was me. But the thing that kept me safe and the thing that kept really, really bad things from happening for me, that was God. And it struck me. I was there is something bigger than myself in this world. There's a reason why I'm here. And there's a reason why I went through all of this and nothing, thank goodness, nothing really horrible ever happened to me. And I was that is God. And it clicked like that, a light bulb. I found God. And it's so funny because I had remembered that moment, you know, in religion class being like, well, what happens if I don't? And thinking, oh, if I don't believe in God, like nothing's going to happen to me. It's whatever. You know, I wouldn't say I didn't believe there was a God at all. I kind of believed there was a God, but it was more like, that's for other people. That's not really for me. And when I welcomed God into my world, when I really like opened my heart to the Lord, I feel like this sounds so preachy, but when I did, like, something about me became so like fulfilled and at peace, and I was a happier person. I was like a much happier person. Like, it's gonna be okay. Like, it's gonna be okay because I've God to talk to. I talk to, or if you call it praying, I talk to God all the time, no matter like where I am, like just whatever. I talk to God, like I talk to him like he's a friend. Like, you know, I share with him everything, and I think it just makes me feel so much more at ease because I know no matter what, things are going to be okay, and there's a reason for everything, and everything is in God's hands, and that, you know, Jesus doesn't give you anything more than you can handle. I'm a firm believer in that. Ordinarily, like I said, before I opened my heart to God, I was living life for me and me only, and, you know, forget what anyone else ever, you know, whether what I was doing was hurting others or hurting myself. Like, it was just, I wanted to do it, so I did it. And now this makes me a lot more aware, and it makes me a lot more, I feel like, loving and selfless. And to have that kind of eye-opening experience and to have that sort of change is priceless. And I need to persuade anyone to believe what I believe in. It's just, for me, it has so fulfilled my life. It has given me a lot more purpose because of the fact that I know, like, I'm put on this earth to be a disciple of Christ. And I don't mean necessarily like preaching, you know, scripture, but to be a disciple of Christ is in my actions and everything I do to show other people that, you know, they can get unconditional love and they can receive kindness and just the love that God gave me. They can receive that through just, you know, anybody. Which is really like I said, I don't want this to get too like hippy dippy, like, oh yeah, you know, let's love each other and hold hands and all that. I don't want it to be like that, but for me, that's what being a disciple of Christ is. I don't think it's just the words of the Bible, and I don't think it's just scripture. I think a lot of it has to do with your actions and, you know, how you show that you're a disciple of Christ, how you show others Jesus and God is like in you. And I have God in my heart, and I think having God in my heart makes me just, I mean, look, I like, the second I said, like, I have Jesus in my heart. Like, I could shout it from the mountaintops. If I wasn't afraid of heights, and I could climb mountains. But, you know, that's what makes me the person you see right now. That makes me the happy-go-lucky. So, like I said, I appreciate all of your compliments on my personality and everything. And like I said, this isn't by any means, I'm not trying to, you know, make people believe in God or anything like that. I don't want you to get the wrong message from this video. I just want to share that was a really integral part of my life that really, really changed me, and it's fulfilled me and made me a lot happier. So, yep, that's me. I love Jesus. That's also why I have this cross tattoo. When I was 21, I think actually on my 21st birthday, I got this. I understand some people don't like tattoos. I've had people tell me putting a cross on yourself is actually blasphemy. You can't please them all. It's something that means a lot to me, and I put it on myself to constantly remind myself. I mean, not to show anybody else. Like, I'm not trying to be like, hey, God Club, Jesus Club, yeah. I'm not trying to be like that. It's to remind myself whenever I'm getting, you know, down, or whenever I have weak moments, to, you know, carry on, because Jesus sacrificed a lot for me, and to remember that time in my life, to remember that moment when I looked back, because I was 21 when it happened, and I remember looking back going, girl, you're not going down a good path, and you either need to go on the straight and narrow, or bad things are going to happen. And this reminds me of that all the time. So, like I said, I hope you guys like this video. Sorry it was kind of long, but none of my videos ever short. Shoot, you need to stop. If you're expecting short videos by now, you're in the wrong channel. Anyway, thumbs up if you like this. If you have any comments or questions about any of my Just Me videos, please leave them down below. Follow me on Keek and Instagram. And, you know, if you love Jesus, hey, thumbs up. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.